will start next Monday after a 2-week delay brought about by rains and floods. President William Ruto, in announcing the reopening of schools, says the Meteorological Department has or is forecasting a reduction in ongoing rains around the country. Now, our very own Brenda Wanga begins our broadcast on the state of some of the schools adversely affected by the floods.
5 days after suspending the reopening of schools across the country indefinitely, President William Ruto now says all is well and learners can resume schools Monday.
All parents are advised on the assessment of weathermen and on the assessment of the government of Kenya. All schools will be opened on Monday next week, and therefore parents must prepare their children to go to school.
That directive now leaves schools in areas most hit by the floods scampering to get ready to receive their students. Mathare is one of the areas that has borne the brunt of the flood waters in Nairobi and is home to such schools. This school, with a population of 1,500 pupils, Mathare North Primary School, was submerged by the waters from the river adjacent to it. The aftermath of the rains and the floods remain visible, from missing classroom walls to silted floors. The sanitation system here also took a beating, and learning materials were not spared either.
All the books, we don't have any. They went underwater. Some of them we had to dry them and wash and dry them. All the certificates, all the documents, the records were underwater. The office was 1.5 meters underwater. Everything, all the documents were underwater.
A nearby school also had its perimeter wall broken by the waters. It has been serving as a camp for IDPs who are being transferred elsewhere. The environment here is still unfit for learning. The school's property was also vandalized. In Baringo County, schools are still hosting flood IDPs who will now need to be moved before opening. Loitip Primary School is playing host to both flood and insecurity IDPs.
Tuko na mpango sasa ya kuweza kuwapeleka maeneo mbadala kwa makanisa na maeneo mengine ili tuweze kutayarisha mashule inapoendelea. Assessment inaendelea.
The government, in ordering the reopening of the schools on the 13th, says it has considered the infrastructure needs and planned accordingly. The damage visited by the flood waters on this school right in the heart of Mathare is still visible nearly 2 weeks after that incident happened. And in just under 4 days, the government has instructed that schools across the country reopen for learning. Will this school be able to turn things around in time for that? Time will tell. But before the schools reopen, the president will lead the country in a national tree planting exercise in commemoration of lives lost during this rainy season. The CS for Interior, while appearing before Senate, insisting that mitigating climate change is now a necessity.
Our country, in our order of national security priorities, the effects of climate change is assuming a very, very crucial and important ranking in those priorities. The people we have lost in the last 1 month in this country are almost 80% of all the people we have lost to terrorism in the last 10 years.
Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.